All right. All right. Let's do it.
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
All right, guys. So welcome to Sundays with Clan, in which I look at all of your questions and I answer 3 of them. I just answered 3. Now, this is going to be a very laid back video in which all Sundays with Clans are, in which I just sit back, man. I read through and I go on my soliloquies, if you will, and I just kind of rant about, whatever topics you guys give me. So I really do appreciate you guys always coming through, because every single time I post one of these, there's always enough for a video, at least enough for a video. Now, if I did not choose yours, please don't take it personal. Like, just do it again once, I post this again. I do this about 3 times a month. So I'll post this again and say, hey, I need some topics or discussions for Sunday. And you just post it there and we'll be all good. But overall, like, I really do appreciate all of the love. And if you want to support the channel outside of this and, outside of the subscribing, liking, all that, I always mention this, but here we go again. If you want to become a patron, a YouTube member, link in the description below. It's only $2 per month, so if you want to support that way, you can. I'm sorry for bringing it up, but hey, it's the only way I can get this channel to continue going as hard as it goes. Because, dude, I post a lot of videos. That's just me questioning my life. All right, so let's talk about this. All right, so we're gonna start with Quinn Thomas. Actually, is a YouTube member. What do you think are the long-term looks of the Spurs starting 5? More specifically, if we think Primo and DJ are the backcourt of the future, do you think Keldon or Devin or both are in that starting 5, even if we draft a power forward? That's a very good question, Quentin. All right, so let's talk about it. Honestly, overall, and this might be kind of controversial, I would bench Keldon Johnson, and I don't say bench in like a negative way. I think that the role that he plays, he will be perfect coming off the bench, just a spark plug. And not only that, he has the amount of confidence that I don't think that he will struggle with what like Danny Green struggled with. You could never sit Danny Green in a game. Like you would destroy his confidence at times. I mean, that's just from what I noticed, that oftentimes when Danny Green had to come off the bench for the Spurs, it was not the same Danny Green. And I think Popovich knew that, because there were many a times where Spurs fans were getting angry with Danny. It was like, sit Danny, and you just can't. You probably need to just keep him starting and he stays engaged. But Keldon isn't necessarily that way. He goes 150% like every single game, and I don't think it'll hurt him at all. I think he'll take it with stride. He'll take his role with stride and, roll with it. Like, he'll be perfectly fine. So I think him coming off the bench makes the most sense. And the reason being is because, honestly, this is a new generation of Spurs. And when you're mentioning Josh Primo, DeJounte Murray, and Devin Vassell, I want as many scorers out there as possible. Devin Vassell, I think, is going to be a starter. Like, I think that he's just going to play his way up to being like a potential star, all-star, especially star of the Spurs. And then when it comes to Primo, yeah, obviously Primo's going to start. Like, he's that guy. And you got to keep in mind as well, and I don't want to just use this against Keldon, because I mean, I shouldn't use this against, like, I don't use it against DJ really, but like Primo and Devin Vassell, they are lottery picks, and something comes with that. Like, there's that little bit of oomph when you're a lottery pick. Not always, obviously, we have some misses and there's players that's deeper in the draft, but for the most part, if you're a lottery pick, there's a little extra oomph there. There's a little extra spark. And DJ was even supposed to be a lottery pick to begin with in that draft. But overall, yeah, I want my lottery picks out there because I think they'll be that special. And scoring wise, I think they'll play exceptionally well together. And I don't think you really lose a beat by having Keldon Johnson come off the bench. Did I say something wrong? I hope I didn't. I don't think I did. I'm sorry. I'm not doing this video over. Devin, DJ, Primo start. That's what I would say. All right, moving on. So Commando, oh, you can't see it. I'll read it though. Commando Ninja. He says, if you had the chance to draft between either Keegan Murray or Jalen Duran, who you picking and why? So, yeah, let me see if I can find something for Jalen Duran. Obviously I did videos on both of these guys already. No, I looked up images for Jalen Duran, and this is what came up. So we're just gonna, yeah, Yeah, this is fine. All right, so Jalen Duran. I would most definitely pick Keegan Murray if I had to go between the two. Not to say that I don't like Jalen Duran, okay? I think that he's very athletic. I think that he is kind of dominant as far as the boards, and defensively he's really good. But I'm just gonna go with the guy that I feel like would have a little more versatility, and that will be Keegan Murray. Like overall, Keegan Murray will have the offense. He has a little bit of the defense, but he has the offense. And I just think overall he would just be a better fit for what we're trying to do. I don't want to fool around with, and if we get him, look, if it's in the draft and we get Jalen Duran, I'll be happy. I'll be fine. But right now, these are my thoughts. I don't really necessarily want to mess around with a big that is necessarily two-dimensional or can't necessarily create their own shot. And I've seen that with Jalen Duran where he needs a lot of setup. Not to say that Josh Primo or DeJounte Murray can't give him that setup, but I just don't. If we're talking top 10 pick, if we don't have to, I don't want to waste it on that. I just don't. I would much rather us just have a guy who can, create his own shot. If Josh Primo is out, he's not going to struggle. If our guard is out, he's not going to struggle. He's going to still be able to do his own thing. But he doesn't necessarily seem that type of player. He needs a lot of setup. And I just don't care for that right now. Like, I would just much rather a guy who can back to the basket, make your own shot, create your own shot. And I think Keegan Murray would fit in that category way more than Jalen Duran. So just out of curiosity, what happens if I type in Keegan Murray? Keegan Michael Key. Yes. Only makes sense. All right, so let's go into the next one. Here we go. What position do you think we should draft? And this is the last question. This is by Jay Medina 210. What position? Well, my friend, you might be surprised by this answer. Initially, I kept saying big man, big man, big man. But after seeing that, yes, DeAndre Ayton more than likely will be available, we're going to have a plethora of different players to choose. Let's just talk about, because in the draft, we should have a few picks in the draft, right? I'm just going to go with, if we go with a lottery pick. If we get a lottery pick, like top lottery pick, let's say top like 7, right? Just choose whoever's the best available. I think that's what they did with Josh Primo, I believe. And I think that that's what they should do going forward. Just choose the best possible player you can, because we're still not definite on what direction we're going to go in. And even with that being said, you got Jakob. Jock is still learning. You have Zach Collins. It's not like you're that, messed up at that spot. And then you'll also have hopefully another pick in the draft where you can do what you want to do with it. So I would much rather the Spurs just go with the best available pick and just roll with it. And I think that would be more beneficial than us only choosing based on the position at this point. I don't know. I just, look, I have a lot of faith in Joshua Primo, but basically when you make a decision where you're saying, I'm just going to pick the best available position that we need right now, and you go with that, then you're basically putting a lot on saying, oh no, Josh Primo's the future, Devin Vassell's the future. I think they're pretty confident in DeJounte Murray, but like Devin Vassell, Josh Primo are the future. Can you say that definitely right now? You can't. But even with that being said, even if they are, it's not going to hurt the team to have another guard. It's a guard-driven league. So look, I'm not saying that we just need to make the team full of just guards. But as it stands right now, if you can't get a top-tier big man, I don't really see a point in missing out on a potential star guard for that. Like, even if it's a point guard, I would go for it. You figure it out. You get the best player available, and then you figure it out from there. And that's just what I think they should do. So don't waste your top pick, because honestly, I don't know how many times after this we're going to have a top pick, because I don't mean to be cocky, but we have a really good organization, okay? And they don't tend to be losing very long. So this might be one of those once in a lifetime opportunities, once in a few decades opportunities. So take advantage of it as you can, and see what you can get. So that's my thoughts on that. You guys let me know what you think. Honestly, I really like these questions, all of them. I'm sorry if I couldn't get to yours, but I just don't. I just want to pick 3, man. I just want to pick 3 every time. But once again, if you guys want to support the channel, you always can do that. Thank you. $2 per month, Patreon, YouTube members. I'll give it to you guys later. Until wait a minute. Once again, my cat's on my towel again. She's messing up the aesthetic. I'll give it to you guys later. Deuces.